Hello everyone. Today I'd like to go through the SA2 math paper by the Nanyang Primary School. As I said in the last paper, that for each math question, we need to think about first, what is the concept? Second, what is method? And last, after we finish the question, we need to revise. We try to use different ways to revise whether we are correct or not. So let's start from the first question. Question 1. Round this number to the nearest thousand. Okay, now we come to the round problem, right? This is the main concept. So A95547. So this one we don't have a decimal point and the numbers after it, right? So know that this is ones, tens, hundreds, and this is the thousands. So we want to round to the nearest thousand here, which is 5,000. So we need to remove all the numbers here. Remove them to 0. So how we remove it? As we see the next one, which is hundreds, is 5. It's great or equal to 5, right? So this one, when we omit this one, so this number need to add 1, right? So number is 896000. Second question, 2/10 and 6,000th is, what is the decimal? Okay, we know that tenth is 1 like this. Also means 0.1. Thousandth means 1,000. This is also equal to 0.001, right? So with this one, we know that it is 0.206. Okay, the third question. In the scale below, what is the value of A? For this one, we need to check the numbers. We see that for this one, 7.9 and this is 8. So we need to read for each unit in this scale. So for this one is how much? Well, we see that this one is A minus 7.9, which is 0.1. And for each part, which is 0.1, 5, which is 0.02, right? So they have 1, 2, 3, right? So at this point should be 7.96, right? 7.9 plus 3 times 0.02, right? 96. Question 4. Which two lines in the square grid are perpendicular to each other? Well, we see that what is perpendicular? Well, perpendicular is like this. So two lines, they cross each other. And also, the angle they form is a right angle, right? Compared to the perpendicular, there's another form, right? Which is called parallel. Well, parallel means that these two lines will never cross each other. And we see here for this one, AB and BC. AB and BC definitely is a obtuse angle, right? BC and CD, BC, CD. It looks like, but we cannot confirm, right? So for this one, are they the right angle? Well, we see the slope here. So this is 2, this is 1, right? And for this one, this triangle, this is 1, there is 3. So these two, their shape doesn't allow them to form a right angle. But, for example, if this line is like this, is 1 and 2 here. So this line and this line, they will form a right angle. Okay? Then CD and DE, CD and DE, we see that 1, 3, right? This one is 1, 3. So the slope to this direction, slope to this direction, they will form a right angle. So this is a right answer. Sometimes, right, we also have some gut feeling, right, some common sense to see it, right? We see that D, and EF, it seems a bit less, right, than the right angle. So this one is not a right angle, right? Compared to this one is it's a bit more than the right angle. The obtuse, so it's also not right angle. Okay. Okay, fifth, in the figure below, LB, AOB, COD, and UF are straight lines. DOF here is 42 degrees, and BOE is 73 degrees. Find the AOC. Well, we see here, if we know that for these two straight line, right, the opposite angle, they should be equal, right? So it's 73. This is 42, right? So this one is 42. So for the AOC, right, we can use this angle X, which is same as this here. So what we can do here, right, we can use either 30. So one circle is 360 minus 73 minus 73 minus 42 minus 42. After we get this one, then we divide 2, which is the answer. Also, we see that this is a straight line, right? So this angle plus this angle plus this angle, the sum should be 180. So this x here, AOC, which is same as the BOD, right? Which is 180 minus 73 minus 42. The answer is 65, right? So answer is clear, 65. Okay, for question 6, in the square grid below, which shape is trapezium? Well, trapezium is this one, right? It's very straightforward. We see that these two lines are parallel, and the length of top and bottom are not equal, right? It's called trapezium. If these lengths are equal, right, and parallel, this is parallel, right? This is parallelogram, right? This is rectangle. And for the rectangle, a special type is what? A square, right? If 4 are equal, so square is a special form of rectangle, right? This one, it looks like square. It's also a rhombus, right? Rhombus, we have the 4 lines are equal, right? If this angle is right angle, then it becomes a square, right? So rhombus is a square is a special type of rhombus also, right? So the question here. So this one is for you to know the shape concept, right? So the figure below shows a cube. Well, for one cube, right, we know that it has 6 faces, right? So which of the following is a net of the cube? Well, for this one, actually we can fold it to see whether we can go back to form the cube. Well, then here we must ensure that there's no two faces will overlap with each other, right? For this one, actually, for example, we put this one at the bottom, right? We fold this 3 side up and this one up, right? So this one will come to the top. So this one come to the back side, this one left side, this one goes to the front side. So this is the answer. And here, if we consider this at the bottom, right, we fold these 3 up, then this one will be at the left side, but this one will come to the front. It will overlap with this one, so this is not. And here, for example, if we consider this one is the bottom, so these 3 will come this side, top, and back, right? But this one, if we fold up, right, it have the right, but this one will overlap with the right one, so this is not. And for this one, if we put this one at the bottom, so we fold up left here, this is right and top. So this one will fold at the back here, but this one will come to the top. So these two top overlap with each other. So this is not. So the answer is the first one. Question 8. Find the value of r such that 4r minus r is 24. Well, this one is simple. This one is for us to solve the algebra, right? So 3r is here equals to 24. Then the answer r is 8. Question 9. The pie chart shows below the volume water in container A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, this is a pie chart. Then, based on this one, let's see the question in the below. So, which bar graph best represents the information in the pie chart? Well, we see here there are 4, right? Then we see which one is have the highest. Well, we see that C covers highest, right? Then B, A, E, D, right? So it comes C, B is it too correct? C, B correct. This one is wrong. C, B, A, E, D, right? This one is C, B, A, D, E. Well, it's wrong, right? E is larger than D. So the answer is the C, B, A, E, D. C, B, A, E, D. So this is the answer. C, B, A, E, D, right? Which one of the, question 10, which one of the following is likely to be the height of vending machine in the school canteen, right? So normally when we have a vending machine here, right? So example, for example, as a child, right? You feel 1.4 meter, right? Somewhere around here. So this one you may consider is around what, 2 meters, right? If 20 meters, that would be very high. You know, our HDB, the house, normally the height is 2.8 meters, right? The condominium is around 3 meters for the interior, right? And vending machine can't be the only 20 cm or 2 cm. Question 11. Which one of the following fractions is nearest to 1? Okay, we see it first. So for each one of them, right, we see the numerator is all smaller than the denominator. So all smaller than 1, right? And this one, we see that for 2/3, right? The difference with 1 is 1/3. Then difference is 1/4, 1/5, 1/7. So this one, right, has the smallest difference with 1. So this is the nearest. Alright? Or you can compute the decimal number for these fractions. 2/3, right, we can remember is 0.66, right? 3/4 is 0.75. 4/5 is 0.8, right? 6/7 we can calculate. 8, 40, right? So it's 0.85. We see that for these 4 decimal numbers, this one is more closer to 1. Okay, for question 12. So this square grid below shows the positions of the point, the PQRST, right? And we see here, we know that the concept for this question is direction, right? So with this north, right, to the top, right, we have the south at bottom, and on the left, which is west, right is east. Now here, point S, which is the south of R, right? Point T compared to Q is east of Q, right? Then here, point Q, which is compared to P, is east and south, right? Southeast is correct. Point P is north and west of point S. Well, this one actually roughly is correct, but here is this one is more accurate, right? So we take this one. So what is the reading shown on the weighting scale below? We see here the important we need to read carefully about the unit, right? So this one is 1 kg, right? With 1 kg divide to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 part, right? So this part would be 1 kg divided by 5, which is 0.2 kg. So here is 2, then here is 2.2. The height actually is 2/3 of the height of Zhenxing. The ratio of the height of Zhenxing to that of coil is 4 to 5. Find the ratio of the height of coil to the total height of Zhenxing and Ashley. Okay, so here we see the height actually is 2/3 of the Zhenxing, right? So if Zhenxing is 3U, then Ashley is 2U, right? Then Zhenxing versus coil is 4 to 5, right? So 2U, 3U. And here 4 to 5, right? So this is 4 to 5. So what we can do, we can convert these two, have the common is 12, right? So it's 12U is 8U, right? So this one is 12 to 15, right? So we find the ratio of the height of coil, which here, to the height of Zhenxing and Ashley. So it's 15 divided by 8 plus 12, right? Divide 20, which is, we simplify, divide by 5, 3, and 4, right? So the answer is 3, 4. Question 15. The first 22 numbers of the number pattern are shown below. So this one, we need to find the pattern, right? See how many numbers will repeat, right? Let's say it's 22014. 222014. Okay, we can see it starts from 220, right? Okay, we cut from here. 221, 220, 142, right? 220, 142, right? So we see that for this pattern there are 6 numbers, right? So for the 48 number, we find the sum, right? 48 we divide by 6, so we have 8 patterns in total, right? Then for each pattern, right, we sum them up to the 4, 5, 9 plus 2 is 11. So 11 times 8 patterns, which is 88. So let's come to the booklet B here. Amanda has 2 meters of ribbon at first. She used 80 cm of the ribbon. What fraction of the ribbon did he use? So the fraction we can represent as what she used, 80 centimeter, right? Divided by the total, which is 2 meters. For 2 meters, we need to change the same unit with 200 centimeters, right? So we can divide 10, right? So this is 820. Then we divide by 4, 5. The answer is 2/5, which is a fraction. Well, here, as I said before, right, fraction, it can convert to the ratio, right? It can convert to the percentage, right? Here, fraction 2/5, right? If we write to the ratio, right, 2 to 5, right? If we write the percentage, right, we can write the 40%. Then for the decimal, we can write 0.4, right? Actually, they are similar, but they have different forms. 17. Express 6.04 kilograms in grams. Well, we know that 1 kilogram equals to 1,000 grams, right? So this one is equal to 6,040 grams. So the figure is made of identical squares. Shade two more squares. That figure has exactly one line of symmetry. Well, this one is concept here is about symmetry. Well, this is a symmetry line. Then we check this one whether equal to this one, right? So based on this line, right? So currently after finish, it's like this. Question 19. Johnson stacked 13 unit cubes and glued them together to form a solid below, right? The solid below. So draw the side view of the solid on the grid below. We see here, it shows that this is top view, view from top. This is front view from this side, and side view is from this side, right? So we need to imagine in our mind, right, which blocks will be there and which blocks will be blocked, right? So we see that when we see from this side, okay, there is this part. This one have 3, right? Then the second one have 2. Third one have 1. This have 2 and have 1, right? So we write 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. So here is 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. This is a side view. Also, we can think about, so what is a front view? Okay, if you see from this side, well, we see that. So this one have 2, then this one have 1, 2, 3, 3, then 1, 1, 1. So this is 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, right? How about the top view? Well, from top view, we can see that this side have 1, right? Then have a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have 1, 5, 1, 1, 1, right? This is top view. Okay, question 20. The solid below is formed by unit cubes. How many unit cubes are there? So this one, we can think in different ways. For example, we can think about layer by layer, right? So the top layer, right, have 2. How about the bottom layer? The bottom layer, so this have 2. So this one, on this 2, there were 2, right? 2, 3, 4, right? So bottom is 2 plus 4, right? Plus this one have 2. So in total, it's 10. So how about we see from the side? This one have 2, right? And for this one, how many? We see that the depth is 4, right? Bottom is 4, top is 2. So this one is 6. Then this side have 2. So the total is 10, right? So for the same thing, right, we can see from the different perspectives. So that's why we want to revise our answers to confirm it's correct. Okay, let's see the question 21. Write down the common multiple of 3 and 5. They are nearest to 27. Okay, let's list out some common multiples of 3 and 5 first. Well, 3 and 5 are both prime numbers. Means that for 3 only have factors 1 and 3, and 5 only have 1 and 5. So the least common multiple for this 2 is 3 times 5, right? Which is 15. So what is the next multiple of these 2? Well, we can times 2. Minimum is 2, right? Times 3 times 5, which is 30. Well, we see that if we count the next multiple, right? If you use 3, right? So this one, actually, we see that this 27 is between this 15 and 30. So we don't have to calculate some more multiples, right? Because it's already 4 in these two numbers. And which number is closer to this one? We see that 30 is closer, right? 30 minus 27 is only 3. But 15, right, have 12 difference, right? So the answer is 30. A wallet costs $30.40. A belt costs $16.60. Then the wallet. Find the cost of belt. Well, it's very straightforward, right? So we use a wallet less than, which is minus 1660, right? 30.40 minus 1660, right? Equal 1380, right? Then how find the cost of 40 such wallets? Okay, the wallet is 3040, right? Times 40. So this one is 1216. It's just calculation, right? So this one we can calculate here. So 3040, right? Times 40, you can see it's 304 times 4, right? Because initially it has decimal point here. We times 10, right? 40, we have 4 times 10. 10 we times here, which becomes 304. So 4, 4, 16. 3, 4, 12, right? This is the answer. 23. The opening hours of a shop are shown as below. So how long the shop open each day? Well, we know that how long, right? We just use the end time minus the start time, right? The end time is 5:45. Then the start time is 10:30, right? So we want to give the answer in hours and minutes. Well, we can convert this one to 24 hours, right? So this one, if we plus 12, right, this is 17.45 from the 10:30, right? So you have 7 hours, right? And for the minutes, right, from 30 to 45, 15 minutes. Right? Another way is that we can break the time of the morning and afternoon, right? So here is 12. So for 10:30, right, until noon, right, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes, right? And the afternoon, 4:45, right, means 4 hour and 5 hour and 45 minutes. So in total, so in the morning we see that 10:30 to 12, right, is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then in the afternoon, right, start 12, right, 5:45 p.m. means 5 hour 45 minutes. Then we sum them up, right, 6 hour. But here we have the 75 minutes, right? Well, 75 minutes, we know that 60 minutes is 1 hour. So we'll come to 7 hour and 15 minutes. So give the same answer here. There were 500 people at a food fair on Monday. On Tuesday, there are 400 people at the food fair. What was the percentage decrease in the number of people who went to the food fair from Monday to Tuesday? So the first day 50 will becomes 400 in the next day. So we want to find the percentage of decrease, right? So the concept here is about how to calculate the percentage, right? So we see decrease is how much? Well, I have 100. Then we need to divide by from, right? Which is the base. Base is from 500, right? So this one, 1/5. 1/5 is 0.2, which means 20%. Right? So the answer is 20. 25. Mrs. Tan bought 2,780 beads to make some necklaces. She used 9 beads for each necklace. What was the greatest number of such necklaces made by Mrs. Tan? So this one actually is a division question, right? But we need to keep in mind that for a necklace, it must have 9 beads. If there's only 5 or less than 9 beads left, right, it cannot be made a necklace. So we use 2,780 divided by one necklace which needs a 9 here, right? 27. 8, right? Cannot divide. 0. If we 9, right? 9, 9, 81 cannot. 8. 72, 8. So we can have 308 necklace, while she left 8 beads, right? Which cannot be used to make necklace. So she only can make 308 necklace, right? So sometimes we need to think about to omit the remainder, or sometimes we need to add up to the total. So it all depends on situation whether we need to include into the total, right? 26. Andy has half liter of oil. He has 1/5 liter less oil than Mei Yan. How much oil did Mei Yan have? Well, this one is quite straightforward. Because Andy has less than Mei Yan, well, we need to use what Andy has, little, right? Plus 1/5, right? Which is 5 tenths plus 2 tenths equals 7 tenths, right? So the answer, we can say 7 tenths, where we use a fraction format here. 27. Miss Chen packed 3/4 kg of curry powder into small packets. Each small packet contains 1/8 kg of curry powder. How many small packets of curry powder are there? Well, this one, let's see. Okay, so in total, right? Remember, we used to solve the average, right? Average equals to total divided by number, right? Here we want to calculate how many packets, which is number. Well, this number is equal to total divided by 1 unit divided by the average, right? So total is 3/4 divided by contain 1/8, right? So 3/4. If we want to reverse, right, it becomes times 8, right? We cross it, 2 equal to 6. Well, this one have the 6, right? So in this case, right, if we still have remainder something, right? If, for example, after divide, right, we left a bit curry powder, then how many packets do we need to have? Well, then different from the previous, we omit the remainder, right? We need to add up 1, right? Because we need 1 extra packet for this left powder, right? Cannot throw it away, right? 28. In the figure below, WXY and WZY are isosceles triangles. What are isosceles triangles? Isosceles means that the length of XW equal to XY and ZW equal to ZY. So what's the property of the isosceles triangles? Well, the angles here are equal, same as angles. This one is equal to this one, right? So here you say WXY equal to 70 and y WZ is 35 degrees, right? So what we want to find is X, Y, Z. We want to find this one, right? So here we see that if we know this 70 here, then we know this angle, right? So it's 180 minus 70 divided by 2, right? So the 110 divided by 2 is 55, right? So we know that this angle equal to this angle, then this big angle equal to big angle. So this angle equal to this one, right? So we know that this one is 55, then this one is 35. So this one is 55 minus 35, which is 20, right? Which is same as this one. In the figure below, STUV is a paragram. STU is 107 degrees and TSW is 53 degrees. Find VSW. VSW. So it's a very good practice that for the what you want to look for, right? You give a question mark here, so you are very clear. This is VSW. VSW, right? So here for the paragram, right? We need to remember several things, right? For example, for paragram, this one parallel to this one, TU parallel to SV, right? Then with this one we have this angle equal to this angle, opposite this angle equal to this angle, right? And this angle plus this angle is 180. And also we have this angle equal to this angle, right? So for this one we have a lot of ways to solve it. For example, we know that it's 107. So this angle is 180 minus 107, which is 73. Then this angle equal to 73 minus 53, which equal to 20. Is there other ways to solve it? Well, let's see. So we see here, for example, parallel, this is 53, right? So this one is 53, right? This angle is equal to this angle. So this angle equal to 180 minus 107 minus 53, which is similar as this one, which is 20, right? Question 30. The length and breadth of a rectangle are 3y and y plus 1 meters respectively. 3y, y plus 1. Find the parameter given by y, given that y equals to 5. Well, parameter for a rectangle, which is 2 times length plus the breadth, right? Here we have 2, have 3y plus y plus 1, right? Here 2 times 4y plus 1, right? Equal to 8y plus 2. So if y is 5, then we can calculate 5 times 8, 40. 40 plus 2, 42. So here we come to the paper 2. So the first question, Adelaide has N albums. Benjamin has 5N. Adelaide has 8 fewer than Benjamin. So how many albums does Adelaide have? Well, we see 8 fewer albums from Benjamin. Well, we see that if Adelaide has N and Benjamin has 5N, then we know that it should be 4N less than Benjamin, which is 8 shown here, right? So N equal to 2, right? If the model, right, Adelaide have the N here, Benjamin has 5N, right? They say Adelaide was 8 fewer than Benjamin. 8 fewer is here, right? 8 fewer. So we say that 8 fewer, which is 4 part. So each one would be 2. So Ada have 2 initially. Tap A takes 36 minutes to fill a tank completely. Tap B takes 72 minutes to fill the same tank completely. How many minutes will tap A and tap B take to fill the tank completely when they are turned on at the same time? Okay. This is an interesting question, right? So, one is tap A, right? One is tap B. We see that tap A only uses 36 minutes. Well, this is very good, very efficient, right? Because tap B need to have 2 times, right? 72 minutes to fill the tank. We see that if 36 minutes for filling one tank, then we know that for the tap A, 1 minute it can fill in 36. But for the B, 1 minute can fill in 72, right? So with this one, we can see that for 1 minute, they can fill in 136 plus 172, right? So which gives 32, 3, right? This is 32, 2, right? 32, 1, 32, 3. Divide by 3 is 24. It means that if we turn on the tap A and B together, for 1 minute, it can fill in 1/24. Then how many minutes? Well, we use 1 divided by 1/24, right? Now there is 24 minutes, right? The average number of books that Ada, Baba, and Cindy have is 17. So average number. Well, Cindy has 21. Baba has more books than Ada. At most, how many books does Ada have? Well, this one actually is average, right? The concept is average. Well, average, we know that the total is equals to average times number, right? So if the average is 17, right? Then in the total, we know that it's 17 times 3, right? 54, right? Then he say here, Cindy already have, we confirm it's 21, right? Then we can know that Ada and Baba in total they have 54 minus 21, which is 33, right? So here we say if the sum of Baba and Ada is 32, right? So on average, if we divide this one to 2, right, is 6.5, right? And we know that Baba is more books than Ada, and the number of books cannot have decimal, right? So Ada and Baba, which could be 17, 16, and 17, right? Or can have 15, 18, right? Here we want to know at most how many books does Ada have. So at most is 16, right? No. Okay, question 3. The average number of the books that Ada, Baba, and Cindy have is 17. Well, we see that it's the average problem, right? Cindy has 21 books. Baba has more books than Ada. Then at most, how many books Ada have? Well, for the average, we know that there are 2. So average equals to total divided by number, right? And total equals to average times number. So here for the 3 person, right? If you know the average is 17, then we can know the total number is 17 times 3, which is 51, right? So we know that Cindy has 21. Then we know that the sum of Baba and Ada is 51 minus 21, which is 30, right? For the 30 books, if we divide by 2, right, Ada and Baba can have 15. But we see here, Baba has more books than Ada. So Baba will be more than the average. So Baba will have 16. Well, for the Ada, we'll have a bit less than the average, which is 14. And also it can be 13, 17, right? So it also fulfills that Baba has more books than Ada. But he said, at most, how many books does Ada have? Well, at most, Ada can have 14 books. Question 4. Susan deposited 50,000 in a bank for a year. The interest rate is 1.8% per year. How much will he have in the bank at the end of 1 year? Well, normally when we calculate the interest, right, this is your base, right? So this one you can calculate 50,000 times 1 plus the interest, 1.8%, right? So this one is 50,000 plus 50,000 times 1.8%. Well, we know that 1% is 1/100th, right? So we can divide this one with 2 zeros. So here, this is 500 times 1.8 with 900. We add up to here, so this is 50,900. Question 5. In the figure below, PQRS is a trapezium. This is a PQRS. So here we see that this one is parallel to this one, right? PUQ, this one is 80, and this QPU is 76. We want to find STU, this angle, right? So we see that when we do the geometry, right, we need to understand different shapes and their relationships, right? So for the parallel, right, we know that this angle equal to this angle. Cross angle, this one equal to this one. Well, parallel, this angle equal to this angle, right? So it's very clear. The triangle have, in total, is 180 degrees. So STU equals to PQU, right? Which is 180 minus 76 minus 80. So the answer is 24 degrees. Madame Le has 4 boxes of fruits. Box A, B, C, and D. The bar graph shows number of fruits in each box. The bar representing box D has not been drawn. Okay, well, this one is drawn here. Well, this is the answer. How many more fruits are there in box C than box A? Well, bar chart is for us to compare different terms, right? Then we see that this is more than this one. So it will give you a very intuitive way for you to see which one is more and which one is less, right? So we compare box C and box A, right? Then we count, this one is 90, right? Box A, this one is 60, 70, right? So this is 20. He said box B contains only pears and oranges. There are 4 more pears than oranges in box B. How many oranges are there in the box B? Well, we first count, based on this bar chart, we see that it's 180, right? So we see here, pears and oranges are 180, right? 4 more pears than oranges. So pears equals to 4 plus oranges, right? So this P, right, is here, we replace P with orange because there are two unknown here. We need to have only one unknown, so we replace this P with this one. So 4 plus orange equal to 120. 2 orange equal to minus 4, 1, 2, 6. Orange equals to 58. The total number of fruits in the 4 boxes is 360. Find the number of box D. Well, it's straightforward. We just use the total minus the rest boxes, right? 70, 120 minus 90, right? So the answer here is 80, right? So this is the answer. So here is 190. Another 90 is 280, right? 360 minus 280 equal to 80. Okay, 58, 80. This is 20. Question 7. In the figure below, BDEF is a rhombus. BDEF is rhombus. Well, rhombus is a very interesting one. So parallel, right? Parallel with this one, right? And angles here, 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 here. These 4 angles are equal. This is equal to this one, right? ACE is a triangle. ABF, this one is 76 degrees. And DBC, this one is 29, right? So, want to find BED, this angle. We see that this one, 4 angles are what? Are equal, right? So for this one, we see that it's 180, right? If we minus 76 minus 29, which is equal to this angle, right? These two are all equal. Then we divide by 2, right? So this one is 104 minus 29, 2, right? So this one equal to 5, 35 divided 2, so it's 39.5 degrees, right? Same as EAC, this angle, right? So how do we calculate this angle? Right? We have already know that this is parallel, right? So this one is 75. Parallel, this one is 75, right? 75, 76, then this is the last one. We use 180 minus 75 minus 76. We know that this one is 151, right? Because 75 times 2 is 150, 151. So minus 29, right? 29, and this one gives 37.5. And also, don't forget about the unit here. So the figure below shows a large circle, right? And 2 identical small semicircles. The diameters of the large circle diameter is 24 cm. Well, this one, they will be 12 cm, right? So find the perimeter of the shaded part. Take pi to 3.14. When we do about the shapes, right, geometry, right, we need to remember, for example, this circle, how to calculate the perimeter as well as the area. So for this shape, right, this shape, we see that for this unshaded, so equal to 1 semicircle, right, plus 1 semicircle, another 1 semicircle. Well, this one and this one can be a circle, right? And this one is only semicircle, right? Then for the top, we can calculate the perimeter equals to pi d, or 2 pi r. So this one is for the circle. Then semicircle, which is pi r, right, equals to pi. For this one, r is 12, right? And for this one, circle is 2 pi, which if this is r, then this one is half of r, right? Equals to another, again, is pi r, right? 12. So then in total, which is 24 times pi, right? So the answer is 75 times 3/6. Then for the area can be calculated pi r square, right? Take the total, find the total area of the shaded part. So this one, how we calculate? Well, a simple way is that we use half this circle, then minus this two half, right? So we do is pi r square minus so this one and this one becomes a pi r square, right? So this is 1/4 pi r square. This is 1/2 pi r square. So the answer is 1/4 pi r square, right? Times 3.14 times 12 times 12, which is 144, right? The answer, let me see. No, it's not correct. So check again. Okay, this one is half pi r square is correct, minus pi r square, correct. This one 4th pi r square, pi r square. Oh, what we see here is, you see, why I do this wrong. This is for the shaded part, but the question here, find the total area of the unshaded part. So it's very important when we read the question, right? We want to highlight some key, okay? So for the unshaded, it's different of minus, which need to turn to plus, right? So the answer, 3/4. This one. Answer is 339.12. Okay, question 9. In the square grid below, AB and BC form two-sided parallelogram, ABCD each side, drawn by joint dots on the square grid with a straight line in the same way. Complete the drawing of parallelogram ABCD. Well, we have known these 3 points, A, B, C, and somewhere D is here, right? Then for parallelogram, we know that these two lines, the line here should be parallel to this one, and there's a line here parallel to this one, right? And we see that for AB, right, it's a flat one, a horizontal one, right? Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from here, we horizontally draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? This is the point. Then here, we just directly connect these 2 points. We'll do. Okay? Then the user given BC, complete drawing a square BCEF such that does not overlap parallelogram ABCD. It means that we cannot draw to this side, right? Because otherwise it will overlap with this parallelogram. So we want to draw to this side. So how we draw, how we ensure that the angle here is the right angle? Well, we have shown before, right? We need to check the slope. So for this one, BC, right? We see that this is 1, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Then we know somewhere here, but which is the right point? Well, it's simple. We want to find up 1. Then here we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With 5, we find 1 here. This is the point. Then we connect this one. Same as this side, if we want to perpendicular to this one, we want to find up 1. Then this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find this one. Okay. Then in this case, we'll draw here. See, this shape is identical to this shape, right? But in different directions. It makes this angle is right angle. Okay, so we get this point, then we draw the other side. Okay, let's see question 10. So at a sports shop, each basketball costs 23.6 and each football costs 36.4. Ms. Chong bought 3 times as many basketballs as footballs. So this one is you need to be careful that which is more, right? He says 3 times as many basketballs as footballs. So basketball is 3 times as footballs, right? And we need to be careful, it is 3 times, not 3 times more, right? If 3 times more means 4 times. So he spent 550 and 40 cents more on the basketball than football. So how many footballs did he buy? Well, we assume there are n footballs, right? So here, based on this one, we know that there are 3 n basketballs. So here, what we want to do is we want to form an equation based on this one, right? Based on spend this kind of more on basketball than football, right? So here we have the 3n times 23.6 minus n times 36.4. This one equal to 550 minus 4, right? So here, then we just solve the number here will do, right? So here is 78n minus 36.4n, 550.4, right? This is 344n equal to 550.4, right? Then we calculate 04 divided by 344, right? 1, 3, 4, 4. 6, right? Borrow 1. So this 4 minus 0, right? This 2, 4. 4. Then we have 3, right? We have 6 here. 6, 2, 18, and now 20. Perfect. So it's 16. So question 11. There are some children in a hall. 5/9 of them are boys. The girls are divided equally into 11 groups. The total number of girls is fewer than 60. Okay, total number. So this is one constraint, right? Fewer than 16. So there are 6 boys who wear spectacles. How many boys do not wear spectacles? Well, here we see that if we know the total number of boys, right, then we can calculate how many boys do not wear the spectacles, right? So here, 5/9 of them are boys. We consider boys are 5n, right? Then the girls will have the 4n, right? So he says the girls are divided equally to 11 groups, right? If number can be divided by 11 groups, right? So this number would be a multiple of 4 and 11, right? So it could be 44, right? In case if it's 44, it can be divided to 11 groups, right? How about the next? Well, the next one could be 88, right? This one also can be divided to 11 groups, right? But he say here the total number of groups is fewer than 60. So the girl number can only be 44, right? So if the girl number is 44, then 4n is 44, n equal to 11. Then the boy number would be 5v11, which is 55, right? If 6 boys who wear the glasses, right? So 55 minus 6. So the answer is 49. So always want to find some clues from the questions, right? To help us to solve the final problem. But we might not solve the problem at the first stage, but we are getting closer and closer to the answer. Okay, let's see the 12. Darren has 10 candies. Elijah has 30 candies. Faith has 4 fewer candies than the average number of candies that Darren, Elijah, and Faith have. How many candies do they have altogether? Okay, let's see. Darren has 10, right? Elijah has 30, right? Then Faith has 4 fewer candies than the average number of candies. Well, let's assume the average is n, right? Then we know that the total number would be n times 3. So we want to find where in this question, the equation we can form. Right? So he said Faith has 4 fewer candies than the average. So based on this, we can form the equation. So first, how many Faiths have? Well, Faiths have 3n minus 10 minus 30, right? He said this one is 4 fewer than the average, means the average minus 4. Then we calculate. So n move to this side, which is 2n equals to, this one is minus 40. If we move to this side, it becomes positive 40. 40 minus 4 is 36. So n equals to 18. So the answer is how many candies do they have all together? It's total number. So 3n equal to 18 times 3, right? Which is 54. Okay, next question. At 7 a.m., cyclist A left town M for town N. At 8 a.m., cyclist B left town M for town N. Cyclist A traveled at a constant speed of 15 km per hour, and B traveled at 10 km per hour. Both did not change their speed throughout. After arriving at town N, cyclist A immediately left town M for M, and cyclist A and cyclist B passed each other at 11 a.m. At what time did cyclist B arrive at town N? Okay, let's see this kind of question. Well, for this kind of question, we have in mind is about distance, speed, and time, right? So the distance equal to speed times time, right? So 7 a.m., right? A left M to N, right? Then 8 a.m., B from M to N, right? So when B starts from here, where is A? Well, A has already traveled for 1 hour, right? So he says if A is 15 km per hour, so A is here, which is 15 km here. A is here, right? So A travels at 15, while B travels at 10, right, at AM. So after A arrives and will come back, right? Come back, and they pass each other at 11 a.m. What does pass each other mean? Means they meet each other at 11 a.m., right? 11 a.m. minus 8, which is 3 hours, right? It means what? Means for B, right? It travels 3 hours, 10 times 3, 30, right? Then how about A? A traveled another 3 hours, which is 15 times 3, right? Equal to 45. Well, 45 is where? From here to here and here, right? So here we have the 10, this is 13, and this is 45. Then we see that from M to N, right? The total, which is 45, this is where? 45 to here, plus this one, 13, plus initially traveled 15, right? Which is 2 times of Mn. This one equals to 90, right? So for Mn distance, right, is 45. So he said, what time did cyclist B arrive at town N? Well, we need to know what's the time, right? He traveled from M to N. Well, we use 45 divided by 10, right? So it's 4.5 hours, right? So we see here, he starts from 8:30, right? From 8 p.m. from M. So morning 8 a.m. plus 4.5 hours. So it becomes 12:30 p.m. right? So we just keep in mind, right, what this formula, right? And also this one can calculate the time equals to distance divided by speed, right? For cyclist B, we already know the speed. We just want to know what is the distance, right? So we can calculate from here, right, from where they meet, and for this part, or we calculate the whole part, right? From the questions, when we draw the graph, right, we can calculate what is the total distance, right? Then we divide 2, then know the Mn, right? Then we can calculate the time elapsed on the road, right? And we already know the start time. Then we can calculate the end time. Okay, let's see question 14. In the figure below, X and Y are identical rectangular tanks. Okay, we just lay down this tank, right, to this one. So X has a square base. So this one is a square, means this one equal to this one. So it's 16 centimeter, and the height is 64 centimeter. At first, X was completely filled with water, and Y is empty. John pulls the water from X to Y without spilling, right, until the height of the water of X becomes 22, right? How much water are there in Y in the end? Well, how much means volume, right? So this one, the volume of this one is pulled from this tank, right? So what we can calculate is 16 times 16, which is a base area, right? Then we times the height, which pulled over. The pull to this one equal to somewhere missing here, right? So we see after pull, right, only 22. What he pull is 64 more minus 22, right? So this one 16 times 2 and 4. So the answer here is 752. Well, this is a volume, right? But when we this one we can convert to little, which is 10, 752 little. Okay. Find the height of y in the end. This one. The height equal to the volume divided by the base area, right? So this one we can use 10752, then divide. So one side is 16, right? 16 times 64, right? So as we know, this one is 16 times 16 divided by 42 divided by 16. 64 we can calculate 16 times 4, right? So 221. So we can calculate height 10.5 centimeter, right? This one is 10.752 little. Okay, question 15. The figure below shows a gray cube, right, this one, and y cube. The length of each edge of the gray cube is twice that of the y cube, right? Xinlen wants to use 5 gray cubes and the least number of y cubes to build a new cube. What does that new cube mean? Well, we know that for cube, right, it means the height, width, depth are all equal, right? So how many y cubes does Xinlen need to build a new cube? Well, he say 5 gray cubes, right? So consider this one is 1, 1, 1, right? Then this, the side is 2, 2, 2. Here, we want to find how many cubes does he need to build a new cube. Okay, so firstly, for example, this one, right? We can draw it. If 5 gray cubes, right? So at least if there are 4 cubes here, right? Four cubes, right? So we see that the side here it becomes 4, right? Becomes 4, then we know that for y cubes, right, we can calculate based on the volume. So if the final cube, the side is 4, right, we know that total will be 4 times 4 times 4, right, which is 64, right? But for the gray cubes, right, already the volume is 5 times, each cube is 2, 2, 2, right, which is 40. So the y cubes should fill 64 minus 40. So the y cube need to fill the volume 24. We know that for each unit cube, right, the size is 1, then you need to have 24 cubes. Given that the volume of the new cube is 1728, find the length of the edge of the y cube. Okay, given that volume is this one, find this one. So we know that after here we just assume that this is 1, then the final is 4, right? So if the volume is 1728, then we can calculate the side, right? The side is cube root of 1728, right? How to calculate this one? Well, we know that 10 cube is 1000, right? So it should be greater than this one, right? We also know that the side should be multiple times of 4, right? It could be 12, 16, right? Or 20, but 20 cannot be, right? If 20 cube, which is 8000, cannot. So let's try 12, right? Which is 144 times 12. 144, so this gives 271. So the side of this one is 12, right? So initially we see that for if this is u, right, the gray cube, the side is 2u, then with a 5 gray cube, right, this 4 will forms 4u, right, 4u of this one, right? Here we know that 4u equals to 12 cm, right? Because only 12 cm will form the volume becomes 1728. So u equals to 3 cm, right? So we know that for the y cube, the length is 3 cm, right? So this one we need to have in our mind how to construct the cubes, right, in the 3D world, right? Like in the Minecraft, we build the blocks, right? You need to have in mind, for example, we have 5 gray cubes, right? How they form. So at least we have 4, right, to form this shape. Then here we might have another one cube here, right? Then here we need to have some y cube to fill in the rest space, right? Okay, question 16. The table below shows the number of pens in each type of bag. So we have 3 type bags, red, blue, green, and each bag have different number of pens. Madam N has total 8 red and green bags. So green in total is 8. Find the smallest possible differences between the total number of pens in Madam N's red bag and total number of pens in her green bag. Smallest possible. So we see that what is the possible difference between the number of pens in the red bag and the green bag? Well, firstly, if there are 8 red green bag, right? So first scenario, if there are 7 red and 1 green, right? And 6, 2, right? 5, 3, 4, 4, right? So here we see that red bag have, if we want to find the smallest possible difference, right, means that the red times 40 and the green times 60 are close to each other, right? So the minimum difference could be 0. I mean, if the number of red bags times 40 equals to number of green bags times 60, right? So in this case, right, the red bag should be slightly higher than green bag, right? Otherwise, if green bag is more than red bag, right, then this within each bag there are already more pens than the red bag, then this number, the difference will be much larger, right? So in this case, right, we take this for example. So it's the difference 200 minus 180, right? 360, which is 20, right? So this one is 4 times 60, right? 240 minus 4 times 40, 160, which is 80, right? This one is 240 minus 120, 120. So this one is the minimum. So then in this case, the minimum possible difference of the two bags is 20, right? So we need to analyze different combinations. Okay, let's see B. Miss Lee has some red and blue bags. Red and blue bags. The ratio of the total number of pens in his red bags to the total number of pens in the blue bags is 6:5. Express the number of blue bags as a fraction of total number of total number of his bags. Well, this one, the fraction is blue over the total, right? So consider if I have n blue bags, right? Then we have to see that the ratio of the total number of pens in his red bags to the total number of pens in the blue bags is 6/5. Okay, we consider that if the blue bags are n, right, then the red bags, if there are m bags. So we express with this one is the total number of pens in the red bag. Red bag would be 40m over his blue bag. Blue bag is 50n, right? Equals to 6/5. So here we would like to find the ratio of the m and n, right? So here what we do, we times 50 to two sides, right? So it's 50m times 50 cross to 50, so it becomes 60, right? So here m divided by n is equal to, we divide 40 at both sides. 60 divided 40, which is 3 divided 2, right? So we see here, if n is 2, m is 3, right? Means if blue bags is 2, then red bags is 3, right? Now we want to express the blue bags over the total. Well, over the total, which is m divided by total, right? Which is, if m is 3, right? M is 2, so 3 divided by 5. So here we want to, the normal method, right, is we make some assumptions, right? Then based on the given information, for example, he said the ratio is this one, to form a equation, right? Then based on this equation, then we can form out the ratio of the two unknowns, right? Then we see, okay, then this one is expressed as blue over the total, right? For example, if we want to ask what is the ratio of the blue over the red, well, we know that blue is 3 and red is 2. So this fraction is 3 divided by 2, right? Okay, we come to the end of the last question, which is question 17. Junki, Minho, and Ellie have some green and some red buttons. Junki has 9 more buttons than Minho. Minho has 5 more green buttons than Junki. The ratio of the number of red buttons that Junki has to the number of red buttons that Minho have is 5 to 4. The ratio of the number of green buttons to red button Ali has 3:1. Well, this one is a bit complicated, but let's see how we can do it. Well, we can form them, right? We have Junki, have Minho, and we have Ali, right? Each of them, they have 2 types. One is green, one is red, right? Then here we can have the total. So here he said Junki has 9 more buttons than Minho. So this total here is 9 more than here, right? And Minho has 5 green buttons than Junki, right? Ratio of the number of red buttons that Junki has right? Ratio number of red buttons that Junki has to the number of red buttons that Minho has is 5 to 3. This one ratio is 5 to 3, right? The ratio of number, this one is for Ali. See, here is Junki Minho, right? So here, these two, right? In total, Junki has 4 more buttons than Minho, right? But for the green, right? Green Minho has 5 more than Junki, right? Then in this case, right? For the red button, right? Junki has how many more, right? Well, in total is 9 more. But for green, it's 5 less actually. So you need to plus 5 to 14, right? So for the red button, Junki has 14 more than Minho. When we see that the ratio here is 5 to 3, right? So this 2 unit is 14, so U is 7. So we can calculate the red button here is 5U35. And here, Minho has 721, right? He says the ratio of total green buttons for Ali, the ratio of the number of green buttons to red buttons, green to red is 3 to 1. Okay, we'll leave it. He asks how many red buttons do Junki and Minho have altogether. Well, here we have already, right? We have already calculated this ratio is 5 to 3, right? Total is 8 units, right? Then based on the difference of total and difference of the green buttons, right? Then we calculate difference of the red buttons. The red button, which is 9 plus 5, right? For example, in case that he said total is 9 more than this one, Junki 9 more than this one, for green is 5 more than this one, then we easily calculate the red is 9 minus 5, which is 4 more, right? But in our case, right, for the total is 9 more than Minho. But for the green button, Junki is less than 5 less than Minho. Then in this case, right, we need to use 9 plus 5. Means that JK must have 14 more then Min Ho, then can overcompensate the 5 buttons here, and at last you will still have 9 more in total, right? So as the ratio is 5 to 3, so we know that 2U is 14. Then you can calculate in the total, which is AU equals to 56. So the answer here, 56. Then we see here, each statement below is either true, false, not possible to tell. Then this one, he said Ali has 11 more green buttons than red. Is it true? Well, we see that he said for Ali, the green and red button is 3 to 1, right? Then the difference would be if green button is U, right? Red button is U, then green button is 3U. Then the difference is 2U. Well, we know that 2U is master even number, right? But he says 11 more, so definitely is false, right? It cannot be 11. Okay, he said the total number of buttons that 3 persons have is an odd number. Can we calculate that? Well, it's a bit tricky. Okay, firstly, we see that for the Jongki and Miho, right? He says 9 more buttons than Miho. Whatever Miho have, for example, is U, right? So the sum of Jongki and Miho is 2U plus 9, right? So this one would be a odd number, right? So here we calculate odd number or even number, right? So a number is either an odd number or even number. Here 2U minus 9, this one is even number. Plus 9, it confirms odd number, right? Then how about the Ali? Well, Ali, he said the ratio is 3:1, right? So in total is 4V or 4U. Well, this one definitely is a even number. So 2U plus 9 plus 4V, well, whatever. This one, we know that this even number, this is odd number. So this one gives a odd number. So he said the total number is odd number is correct, right? So this will end of the paper today. So we see that in total the paper is simple, but there are some tricky questions, right? Okay, I think that ends of the paper, and thank you so much. If you have any comments or you are not sure, just give me comments, then I will reply to you. Okay, bye bye.